Hello beautiful butterflies. In this video I'm going to be telling you my experience with this gel, the Giovanni hair thickener volumizing styling gel. I'm also going to tell you about my experience with the Gold Series Pantene shampoo and conditioner. So if you'd like to see my results or hear my review of these products with my gray natural hair, then keep on watching. Please let me know in the comments if you've used any of these products or what your favorite products for your gray hair are. So in the last video that you guys saw, I had used Topic for my edges after getting a haircut, and then I used this with Curly Magic underneath. So I just wanted to tell you guys what my experience was with that. Right now in my hair is the Curlsmith Bond Salve. I'm doing a treatment on my hair. That's why it looks like this. And then afterwards I'm going to rinse it out. So probably by the end of this live, it'll be ready to rinse out. So I've told you guys before, when it comes to products, your hair will let you know what it likes and what it doesn't like. So my hair told me for the first try, I'm not going to give up, but for the first try of using this, I had flaking. And that's definitely not something that you want when you're using a gel in your hair. Let me see how long. I think this is about 2 weeks. I think at least 2 weeks since my last wash. So I think another thing, if you're having issues with flaking when it comes to gel, something to definitely consider is the layering of products. So I did use the Giovanni Leavein, which I don't usually use. I use my Kinky Curly Leavein, which is my favorite. And then I put the Curly Magic on top, and then I put this. I'm not sure if you guys are like me, especially if you wear wash and goes primarily. I can't just put gel just directly on my hair. I usually like to layer it. Curly Magic, someone asked me before is if it's a conditioner. It's not a conditioner, not a leave-in conditioner. It is a gel. It does have a lighter hold than this gel, but I love the ingredients in the Curly Magic. It has I believe it has marshmallow root. It has really good slip. So it is like it has conditioning, moisturizing ingredients. So in a sense, that's what I put under my gel, especially if I'm going to use a gel that has a stronger hold. And this one definitely claims to have that. Actually, it's not like if you look on the back here, you see how it gives you, it lets you know from like soft, let's see, from soft to firm. It's not all the way close to firm, but it definitely is supposed to give you a good hold. So what I'm thinking of doing is, before I say that this gel isn't for me necessarily, I might try it with another gel. Maybe I'll try it with the Aunt Jackie Don't Shrink gel. But I don't like flaking. I was just in the morning when it was time for me to refresh, you would just see all over my shoulders the flaking. I was going to try and come on here and show you guys, but my hair needed to be detangled and treated. So that's what is in it right now. Does this mean that it will flake for you? Not necessarily, but I'm just telling you what my experience was. So I also like this gel because it said it's a hair thickening volumizing gel. So if you have thin or fine gray hair, you know, we're always looking for things to give us a little bit more volume, right? But I can't say this necessarily gave me more volume. I did feel that it was a thicker gel. I do love thick gels. But yeah, the biggest complaint that I have with this is that I have flaking. So I am going to try it again with a different combination and see if that changes anything. But to be honest with you, with a lot of some of these things that I'm trying, I'm looking to see if it's a definite yes or no. But I know a lot of times you guys will ask me, well, what is your go-to? I know you show us a lot of products, but what is your go-to? I will tell you right now, for if I had to close my eyes, what products to use for a wash and go, it would definitely be, after I wash and condition my hair, the leave-in from Kinky Curly. I forgot real quick. I think I used the Curly Magic and Curl Boss. I think those were the two that I know for sure will give me a really good wash and go. The Aunt Jackie's Curl Boss, love that gel. And then another like runner up that I like is the Kinky Curly Custard with Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink on top of that. That's a good layering for my hair. But that was just my honest review on that. Like I said, a lot of times it's experimentation, guys. Like, I didn't know that I like the combination of Kinky Curly Custard with the Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink until I tried it. I never tried those two together. I usually would do the Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink with coils or twist if I wanted to have a little bit more hang with my gray hair. And the Kinky Curly Custard gives my hair really good definition, but lots of shrinkage. So they are a winning combination because one gave me the definition I wanted, while the other one gave me a little bit more hang so that I can tolerate all the definition and shrinkage that the custard gives me. So if you guys have any questions on that, definitely please feel free to ask me in the comments. Now moving on to the Pantene. That was the other two things that I'm going to review for you guys. I was looking for footage, which I thought I had, but maybe I just tried it and I didn't record it. Let me tell you guys too, I'm going to be mentioning in a little bit some of the challenges and struggles that I've been going through lately with content creation and my health. But before I do that, let me get on to the Pantene Gold Series here. This is the Moisture Boost shampoo. Let me know if you guys have tried this before. First of all, I like the smell. It's not strong, and I use this shampoo, and I think I had another video where I told you guys about the Main Choice detangling shampoo. I like that shampoo. So if you guys had wondered, do I only use clays to wash my hair, or do I only use purple shampoo like you saw in the last video? I don't use purple shampoo all the time. I use it once a month to help brighten my gray hair. That works for me. And other times, because I have been lazy lately, I don't feel like making a clay combination. I have been using this shampoo as well as the Main Choice detangling shampoo. Those shampoos give me the cleanse that I'm looking for without that waxy feeling that comes sometimes with shampoo. So I like this. Next time I am gonna record myself using this shampoo so you guys can see how it works with my gray natural hair. But this is something I like. I like Pantene. I also like, I think they have, oh my goodness, you guys know the brown bottle they have with Pantene. Before I went gray and I was just a natural, I used that shampoo from them, the shampoo and conditioner. I also like the conditioner. The conditioner was pretty good. So if there are those of you who are looking for something quick when it comes to your wash day, I did do another video showing you guys the Main Choice detangling shampoo along with two other products, but these are two other products that you can use that are quick. This is not a deep conditioner. It stays in your hair for, I think you just work it through your hair and then you rinse it out. I don't even think that you have to let it stay in your hair, and I know some of you guys would love that, not have to wait 20-30 minutes to deep condition your hair. I will tell you though, if you have highly porous hair, it does help, especially if you're dealing with dryness, to at least deep condition once or twice a month. Every time you wash is good, but you know, I understand there's sometimes where you're like, I just want to be in and out. This is a pretty good conditioner. All right, so that is my review on those three products. If you guys have any questions, hi Lisa, about these products, you could definitely ask me in the comment section and let me know so that I can answer for you. And so what has been very interesting about making content on YouTube, I originally came on here giving content about my gray hair, but I also told you guys about some health challenges that I've experienced as well when it comes to non-epileptic seizures. And lately I've been noticing a lot more interest coming in about that topic. There are those of you who have epilepsy or who were just diagnosed with non-epileptic seizures. Let me know in the comments if you are watching this video what questions that you have. I had a comment from someone recently who said, could you please talk a little bit more about that? I'm not going to do that completely in this video, but I'm just going to let you know and quick update on how that's going with me and how that is affecting my content creation. Because as you guys know, usually I do my videos on a Monday or a Thursday, but the summer has been interesting. And I want to encourage you, even if you don't have non-epileptic seizures, if you have any kind of health issues, if you're dealing with a lot in this season of your life, to learn to adapt, to learn to be flexible with your circumstances, because you will cope a lot better. The more you're rigid and you resist it and you wonder, why does it have to be like this, the harder time you'll have. Ask me how I know. So perfect example, this week I did have 2 mild seizures, and I think I mentioned to you guys before, a trigger for me is my cycle. So a lot of times I'll know when my cycle is about to come through because I'll start to have some of my seizures. And so washing my hair, even though my hair is short, can be a lot. So getting the camera together and doing all the things to record that and bring that on here for you guys can sometimes be a lot. And I'm not complaining, because this is a voluntary choice that I make, but just letting you guys know, if you don't see as many videos, I'm trying to get myself together over here. But I do love that I've been able to come on here live and just talk to you guys about products and answer your questions, because I'm here for you. I want to be a resource, especially for those of you with gray natural hair, on how to take care of it in any way that I can. Hi Sheila, you said you use the Giovanni Gel with their direct leave-in and you haven't had any flakes, but you only use a small amount of gel. Sheila, I love if you would have like a video of doing your hair. First of all, your hair is beautiful and it's grown so much since you cut it. And I know you're the one who has put me on to Giovanni. I have not tried their leave-in as of late. I remember trying it a long time ago when I was natural, but that is something. There's something to say about that. There are some products that definitely do work well together. I don't know if you guys are like that. Let me know. Do you stick with the products in a whole line, or do you kind of mix and match? That could be one of the reasons why it flaked. I think it could have been the Unicurl leave-in that I put in that mixed with the Curl Magic, and then the gel could have caused the flaking situation. So as I said, I am going to try it again with a different layering. And this is why I also encourage you guys, don't always throw something out or think it doesn't work for you because you try it once a certain way. It might need a different layering, or like you said, I could use it with the leave-in and see what happens. But I just love when I try something once and it works really well. Like these two, I tried them once and I liked it. And I notice sometimes I like certain brands for their shampoos and conditioners, like Shea Moisture. I love their deep conditioners. I used to use their shampoos, not as much now. My husband and my son use their shampoos, but I love their deep conditioners. Unicurl, love their deep conditioner, and the 4-in-1 styler. So I noticed sometimes from certain brands, there are certain stars of the line that I like. And I love when I can mix and match. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sheila. So yeah, well, I wanted to express to you guys who have any health conditions or are dealing with a challenging time, something that I realized today to be able to help myself is I heard a quote that said consistency over intensity. It's very easy when you're starting something new or even trying to keep up with something that you're used to doing to focus on the intensity or the amount instead of just doing exactly what you can at that particular time so that you can stay consistent. And so I've noticed with content creation, as I'm learning this is new to me, and also new to me during a pandemic or a quarantine, new to me while homeschooling. I realize it's so easy to forget the season that you're in currently. They don't last long, right? We know summer lasts from May to September, or June to September. And then the next season comes and different conditions and circumstances come with each one. So I had moments where I was just like, what happened? Within this past year and a half or 2 years, I'm like, why does something that I did before that seemed like it was easier, why is it so hard now? It feels like nothing has changed, but things have changed. I do have more things that I'm doing. And when you're going through a hard time, it's easier for you to say, well, this is what I'm dealing with right now. What can I do to support myself where I'm at right now? Instead of, this used to be easier. Why is it so hard now? And so that's why I was like, just come on here. Usually I come on for like an hour. It's like, if I told myself just come on for 10 minutes, look, I'm already at 16 minutes, right? So just learning to meet yourself where you are, work on the consistency part of things before you get to the intensity, and just like be compassionate with yourself based on where you are. And that even applies to your gray hair journey. Some of you are transitioning from gray, not only colored to gray, but also relaxed to natural. And you have to be kind to yourself and realize that you're going through two different changes, and, be open to, if you did a big chop, if you are now growing your hair out, there's something called the awkward length stage. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you guys know what that stage is like, where your hair is not too short and it's not too long, but it's still a struggle with styling, or you find the products you used to use aren't working anymore. There's constant change, right? Change is a constant, and we have to learn to be flexible with wherever we are. So if your hair used to love this and it doesn't love it anymore, you have to work with it where it is. And then also, even when it comes to your hair in seasons, your hair may love something in the summer, but in the wintertime, it's like no go. So just learning to check in and, work with where you're at, it can really help things to go a lot more smoothly instead of this being hard on ourselves and, things being stringent and like, why isn't it working? It allows for more flow, which is definitely important if you have chronic health conditions. I realize a lot of stress was self-inflicted. It's like, girl, just work with yourself where you are. And even just coming on here and letting you guys know, like, I'm struggling, as opposed to radio silence, as they call it, or, thinking that people won't understand, because you guys do. Antoinette, you said you want to embrace your gray hair, but it's so hard because your gray hair is so dry and it always looks dry. Well, at least yours. Antoinette, you're not alone. And this is a perfect example. So I'm not going to tell you that all you have to do is just accept it and there's nothing you can do to keep your gray hair moisturized. There are things you can do. And, we can talk about that in coming lives, or you also could join the membership that I have. I already helped 2 amazing, beautiful butterflies with their gray hair journey, their gray hair concerns. But at the end of the day, Antoinette, I want you to realize a hard truth, and maybe some may not agree with me when I say this, but the reality is our hair has changed. So you might do the things to help moisturize your gray hair, but dryness might be something that you might be dealing with when your hair is gray. It is a characteristic of gray hair because it has less melanin than your hair when it was colored. And some of that melanin was helpful with lubrication. And I'm not sure if you said, Antoinette, if you are natural or not. Let me know if you are natural, because if you're natural, then now you're adding a second reason why your hair could be dry more than you would like. It doesn't mean when our hair was relaxed we didn't have dry hair, but straight hair is very different than natural hair. And natural hair, you also, if your hair is very tightly coiled, it's going to be a lot harder for that natural lubrication from the scalp to get all the way down to the tips. So like I said, there are things that we can do to help aid the gray hair to be moisturized. But if you're struggling with it, you really aren't alone. You are natural. Yeah. So are you still coloring your hair, Antoinette? Because you said you want to embrace it, but it seems like, or maybe you're already gray and you're noticing it's just too much for you. Let me know a little bit more about that. Vernice, it's good to see you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. We're all going through a lot, right? And I think the epiphany that I had today to just learn to meet myself where I am and do the best that I can. I have a coach, a business coach, who's helping me for the past 6 months, and she would remind me, do what you can do, whatever that looks like. And if you're dealing with chronic illness, what you can do can look different day to day. It could look different week to week, month to month, depending on things that are going on in your life, if you're going through a flare up or not. And one of the best ways that you can cope is to meet yourself where you are, to be willing to adapt rather than having these unrealistic expectations. And that principle can also apply to our hair. We want our hair to do certain things, and I get it, but our hair, it's like, well, I'm different. You expected me to do things that, I can't do as much anymore. Okay, you're 3 years not coloring your hair. So Antoinette, are you kind of saying like, I want to stay gray, but this is too much for me? It can't stay moisturized. I also want to let you guys know, this is a channel where I talk about my gray hair journey, and I encourage you on your gray hair journey. But please, sometimes we do this also. There was someone who sent me a lovely email who said, please don't unsubscribe me or not talk to me anymore. But I decided to relax my gray hair because, the gray natural hair was too much for me. And I'm like, look, what I'm about is supporting what works for you. So this is for anybody who needs to hear or have permission. I love my gray natural hair and I work with it. It's not ideal all the time for me, but if you're finding that gray natural hair is too much for you, or even the gray is too much for you, you can at least say you tried it and you have something to compare it to. But I just want to let you know that there are certain things that come with gray hair that we can find things to help with, but it just is what it is. Sheila, thank you for, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the hug, Sheila, and I'm sending one right back to you. And you know what? If you're watching right now, I want you to take your 2 hands and give yourself a hug. It's so important to support ourselves. I find it so easy to be there for other people and to say encouraging things to other people and not to my own self. And so, Sheila, I hope you give yourself that hug as well. Because especially when you have an invisible illness and you look at someone and they don't look like they're struggling, they're smiling. We bring our best face forward when we come on here. And sometimes that also is the hard part of content creation. You want to be professional. You want to bring your best face forward. I'm not going to come on here the way I looked before I did my hair. But I also want to let you guys know that it's not easy. It's not. There's some times where you just, like I said, I think the tape that was going on in my head is like, why is it so hard? Why does it have to be so hard? And I answered my own question by saying it's hard because you're trying to do something that you can't do right now. You're not meeting yourself where you are. When you work with where you're at, there's like just an automatic release of pressure, and a feeling of support. Vernice, you have been dealing with chronic illness for a long time, and the best thing you learn to say is no, take care of yourself because no one knows you better than you. Very true. At times, though, I don't know if you guys could relate to this. We're our worst critics. You know, sometimes I'll be very protective if somebody else try and come in and tell me what I can and can't do. But then I myself will be sitting in the background and like not saying supportive things to myself, or even remembering that just because what I do looks different than this person or that person doesn't mean that I'm not giving my best with where I'm at, you know? Antoinette, you're kind of on the fence about staying gray. You sometimes get to the point of coloring, but when the time comes, you don't want to go through with it. So Antoinette, let me know, what is it that's stopping you from coloring? Is it like, I did all this work, 3 years, I stopped dyeing, and then you color it? Because let me just tell you what goes through my mind, right? There are times where I miss what my hair used to look like, or I see someone who has their hair colored and I'm like, oh, that looks so beautiful. But one thing I don't miss is when I saw that inch of new growth coming in. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I got to deal with this again, because I didn't like the two-tone. And so I know, especially even like with natural, when you look at all the work you done went through, you're like, I do want my hair colored, but I don't know if I want to deal with if you wind up deciding again that you want to go back and having to go through the grown braid process all over again. Let me know if that's it for you, Antoinette. And if not, we have to learn to support one another in the decisions that work for us. For those people who still decide that they want to color their hair because it works for them, and maybe when they see the 1 inch of growth, it's not a big deal for them. They just go and color it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel like a slave to your hair and you feel like, you're done with that particular maintenance, like I said, I like this channel, or I want to provide this channel to show that there is an option. There is an option. You don't have to stay a slave to your roots, which I felt like I was. So yeah. But I am getting to the point where I'm going to be wrapping up. So I'll wait a little bit to see if I hear from Antoinette. But I thank you guys. I want to take the time to thank you guys for your support. Every time that I've thought, or I've been hard on myself because I haven't been keeping up with what I usually do, and I come on here, you guys just give me so much support. And like I said, I've been surprised at how many people have been coming up and telling me that they suffered with seizures, which again showed me the importance of sharing my story so that people know that they're not alone. And that's why you hear me always talking about compassion, because compassion doesn't require a circumstance to be perfect or ideal. Whether it's your health, whether it's your gray hair, just learning to accept the fact that certain things are hard, certain things are different, change can be challenging, and just acknowledging that sometimes can take the pressure off, instead of imagining like, oh, this is all good. Even when we weren't gray, we didn't always have good hair days when our hair was colored, right? There was still times where we wanted a haircut or change things up. So sometimes I think we think when we stop dyeing our hair that we're not still going to have times where we're not completely satisfied with our hair. It's when people see you that haven't seen you in a while and they say, what happened to you? You also want to authenticate and not worry about what people say. You don't look old, but your hair does. That, I get that, Antoinette. I do. That's been something that I've been grappling with, and I think that would be another great topic for a live. Give me a yes if you'd like to chat about that a little bit more, because I don't think that I'm old because my hair is gray, but I do get that that is still a part of the narrative, even for myself. Recently, I don't know what commercial it was. I don't know if it was Old Navy. There were these 3 little kids and they were doing jump rope or something. Then all of a sudden they looked old. They still were the same size they were before, probably like 9 or 10, but they gave them gray hair and wrinkles. And I was just like, this is the narrative. I mean, it's not a false narrative. We do get older. We do get wrinkles and, our hair does gray, but that takes some like internal work and exploring, like, you know, how we feel about ourselves. Because I totally get that, Antoinette. You basically are saying you want to feel more grounded in how you feel about yourself, so that when you're around others, you don't lose your truth of what you know to be you. And I think that that is definitely possible to do. So Antoinette, if you would like to know when I'll be doing that next live, maybe I'll do that next week on a Thursday or Friday. So even though I'm not on most days that you could see me on here, that I will do a live will either be a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Friday. So that's a great topic to talk about. But don't lose heart, Antoinette, since that's the issue that you're having, because that's something that we could work with, something we can give each other support. If that's the reason why you're not sure if you want to continue with the gray and things like that. I like that you said you want to authenticate and not worry about what people say. And sometimes that takes time too, and patience, because that sure was not me when I first went gray, but it's definitely where I'm at now. You saw the commercial, right? Okay, I know I'm gonna see if I see it again today, because you know you see commercials like all the time, the same ones. But I was just like, now why they go and do that to the little kids, you know? But it had me exploring my own ideas about getting older and things like that, and the fact that you can still feel beautiful. But what's wrong with saying that we're getting older? Like, it's true, it's happening. Like, why do we have to I just want to explore our beliefs around that for sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next live, and there will be a link in the description if there are those of you who want some more tailored help on your gray hair journey, a little bit more than what I can do on the live. Check out the link to find out more of how I can help you on a one-to-one basis. Okay, thank you guys for your support. Antoinette, Sheila, Vernice, and if I missed anybody, and Lisa also. And then for my chronic warriors, like I said, remember, meet yourself where you are and give yourself compassion. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.